We hop into the deciding game here in the first KP midweek muster. Sassy versus Myriad. English in the red, Byzantines in the purple, as should be with the color format. And we've already got Abbey of Kings play coming from Sass. This is a Sass pick, by the way. If I was to select any player from this list of 30, and I'll quickly show the bracket to you because I can do that, guys. Look at all those names. If you had to choose one player who would pick Gorge, it's Sass, right? Sass loves this map. I feel like I've seen him play it more than any other player. So I'm not surprised out of the, I believe it's 7 maps total you could pick from, or 6 maps total you could pick from, he picks this one. English versus Byzantines, though. This map went back and forth for a while, right? I think nowadays it leans more in favor of Byzantines, though, because of the tempo. They have a really strong timing getting into Lombo massing here. So if Myriad plays Horseman plus Lombos, she'd be favored on the opening. What would be really cool from Sassy as an answer, though, yeah, he's going standard 2TC, so it might not be feasible now. But I was thinking Mass Horseman would be pretty sick. Gorge is a great map. Okay, so I was the first person... I'm going to like... I was the first person. Sounds so pretentious. Was the first person to really believe in Gorge. Because when we saw this back at Rebel Wallow, I was like, this map is incredible. This map should be in the base game. With time comes maturity. While Gorge is nice, I don't like too much Gorge anymore. I think Gorge has started to shrink on me a little bit. And what is up? Def Not Blot. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Welcome to Swarm, buddy. You won't regret it. So I think the problem with Gorge is it needs slight tweaks because I don't like how often the late game has started to come through on it. I feel like it's 80% of the games reach 25 minutes plus now, which I don't think is ideal. Part of it comes down to too much safe wood here. And I think another part of it is maybe how easily wallable it feels, which is weird because it shouldn't be easily wallable. So I think like the start of fixing this is like the walls changes for Season 9 would have fixed that issue. I think they just need to fix the amount of trees you have at the back. It's a bit too much. Like if you cut a third off of this, I think it would be quite reasonable. Still a lot of wood to work with. You still have the nearby tree line as a backup, but it doesn't feel ludicrous. Maybe even a quarter. Like I don't want it to reach Prairie because then we just have Prairie 2.0. But there is maybe a little bit too much wood that allows people to play this hunkered down style. We'll see, though. I haven't caught much of Season 9 Gorge. It might be that the change they made to the build speed on walls is simply good enough. We'll just have to find out. So, Horseman opening as anticipated. Sass has just gone second TC. I do think the counter for English in this matchup is just to go 1 TC Abbey of Kings Mass Cav. We'll see if the 2TC pays off. Because the problem now is, like, you put the control of the game in Byzantine's hands. If they play aggressive, it's very hard for English. However, if the game drags later, Byzantines are screwed, right? Once English get up to Castle Age and get men-at-arms with armor-clad, that's when they start to be favored here. So the pressure is on Myriad to close the game fast. And I'm pretty sure, actually, statistically in this matchup, at high-level play, we were seeing English edge out a lead. And even more so when Sassy gets 2 kills like that for the king. What? I can't believe that just happened. Was that with Akratoy as well? No. He uses it now. What? Wait, what? Why? Oh, sorry, no, I'm an idiot. It goes on cooldown and off the end. So he did use Akratoy. He still lost 2 villages to that. That's wild. So Myriad has to send it now, right? Usually in this matchup, there's like potentially a castle play. I think usually you want to play all-in anyway. But his all-in timing has been crippled because he just doesn't have as much gathering to pace into Horseman now. Also, his blacksmith timings are likely going to be slightly delayed because of that loss of 2 villages. Hey, I appreciate the commitment, Def Not Blot. Much love, buddy. Thank you for the Prime sub. Remember, guys... whether you're watching this live or later on YouTube, pop across on the Twitch side. You don't want to be giving Bezos the money. He's pretty much just in a demeasuring contest now with Elon to see who will have more money. I don't think that we care which one of them actually has the more cash. We just hate that they both have so much. So, don't give the money to him from your Prime sub. Use it here. You get over 30 emotes to use. You get an ad-free viewing experience. And you support a content creator that you clearly like watching. Otherwise, why are you here? Sorry. Tolerate watching. You at least tolerate watching me. So double racks is coming. Myriad has not committed into Mercs yet. That's now about to be fixed. Yeah, ironically, Sass is about to experience what most civs experience against English, which is, oh my god, why did I build spears? Longbow's going to be a bit tricky. I would love to see Sass just prep a single archer range, because I think you can scale at that point to contest mercenary archers. Now the horsemen are going to try to poke in. Tricky here with the TC fire, with the double arrow, right? Like, you'll die very quickly to these things. Remember, it's only in the primary, but also just the attack speed aura. Like, very high-level English players will occasionally just use the archers in the villager form, right? As in, they'll just shoot bows at you. Yes, it's not going to be much damage because it's 5 minus 2, but it adds up and it's a freebie. You just do one attack in garrison. So yeah, Myriad probably needs to prep for siege engineering here. If his plan here is to break the base, you can't be slow about this, and he knows it. Myriad now queuing up it. 20 seconds away. First ram can be prepped by that longbow group. He has a little bit of leeway here because he was a little bit later getting into longbows. Oh, damn. Thank you, Def. I love that. Dude, I should have like a board of recommendations. Your channel has got me back into playing AoE since the first time I played on dial-up internet when I was a kid. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. That's so heartwarming. It's always nice to bring people back to something they enjoyed as a kid, right? My hopes is that one day, like, you know, next year when Heroes of Might and Magic comes, I want to bring some people back to that game as well. Akratoy again, but once again, another villager loss here. Sass is already 10 plus ahead. This is getting out of control for Myriad. Needs to be fast and be incredibly furious about this. Kyro Siphon being prepped. Sass is only building spears, but right now the longbow number's not looking impressive. Second group just came out, but they're far, far away. Oh, can Myriad break this quick enough? He's going to need double Kyro Siphon at least, and even then it can be a bit tricky because of the TC shenanigans. They fixed the clown carring on like rams, but they didn't ever fix the clown carring on TCs, which I warned about, right? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I haven't tested it thoroughly. Thank you, Sven. Appreciate the prime sub. There you go, guys. Keep those subs coming. Try to get those hype trains choo-chooing. Much love, guys. But yeah, so I basically changed it now so that you can't re-garrison immediately when you use archers to stop people clown carring where they were dodging attacks. But I think TC's villagers can still do that. I'm hoping they fix that simultaneously because I warned about this, that if you leave that too strong, ram rushes are going to feel impossible. Cypher's going to move in. Might even be worth getting your hands on Trapezites. Trapezites is the one that gives you 25% more torch power on nearby units. And you have over 10 horsemen, so it's definitely worth it. For essentially the cost of 1 horseman. House is being targeted though, so it looks like he's going to try to pop block. It needs to be more Kyro Siphons is the big problem here. Myriad probably just needs to start prepping a second Kyro Siphon with this group of Lombos while keeping pressure with this group. Only effect siege? Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't like that change then. I know that it was necessary to make this ram change because it was kind of unnecessarily clowny, but TC's, the issue, folks, is TC's what you can do is when you see a ram, you can garrison out, hurl your torches and garrison inside before you've thrown the torches. So if that hasn't been fixed, it needs to be. You shouldn't be enabling defensive play further. We're already an RTS that leans very heavily in favor of defenders. Kyro Siphon forcing a hard defense here for Sass though, dude. He's in trouble. He has the eco lead, but he's not really flexing anyway. And finally, we're going to see the Lombos coming. But the question now is it too late? Villagers are trying to repair this. Lombos are going to start diving to snipe them out. Spear count is non-existent here. He has none. Villagers now being sniped. And he's completely ignoring the king. Finally, he's going to wail on him. Look at the health bar. Villagers dying. The king also surrounded. Is going to flop dead. Dive past. The Kyro Siphon doing enough. I question whether 1 ram would be good enough here. Myriad has provided the answer. Villagers in panic mode running away. Sassy fighting for his tournament life here. And Myriad will not give him a chance. Economy lead completely gone. Kyro Siphon on point. I agree, Puppy Ball. Biz Rams are sweet. I think probably a second Kyro Siphon could have been nice here. Sassy kind of took the bait, right? I wondered if we were going to see like an archery range earlier. I think that would have been the way Sass could have leaned. A handful of archers here. Imagine if he had 6 Lombos, right? 6 Lombos when these 5 Lombos come in. Defended, right? And then Spearmen behind it that aren't going to die. Instead, what happened here is Sass committed into a Lombo line that killed him one by one, right? His Spearmen just dying off in a very trivial fashion. think this game would have been winnable for SAS if he'd made that adjustment. It wouldn't have been easy. The Byzantine timing is still vile in this matchup. But it would have given him a leg to stand on, at least in this game, that simply doesn't exist. So Kara Siphons are going to erase any hope of getting the archery ranges up. SAS is trying to recover with triple archery range behind this. Boar gathering in the corner. But he's now 5 villages behind, and Myriad is already getting ready for Castle Age. By the way, Poppy Paw will be playing at some point as well. Wink, wink. We have got both the Canadian bros. Actually, I'm pretty proud of it. I think we got most of the absolute top players in AoE4 playing in this weekly. The main exceptions, I think Marine Lord obviously would pass on this one, but I'm sure we'll see him in the future. There aren't many holdouts. So yeah, pretty crazy. $300 a week, 30 weeks ahead of us. This first one, the first day, has already been an absolute joy for me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it too. Oh, they scale terribly. What? Because the burn damage underneath overlaps? That's a fair point, actually. I can see that. And in fairness, Myriad leveraged that into more Horsemen and Blacksmith techs, right? Because it wasn't just about the Kara Siphon timing. If he went for a second Kara Siphon early, he wouldn't have had Steeled Arrow and Undermesh. Undermesh, in particular, really important for diving English. That's a fair point. Thank you for that, Flat Feet. So, SAS is actually role-playing real-life English right now. He's having a housing crisis. Meanwhile, Myriad... Well, I don't know if the Greek/Turkish economies are looking this good right now, but in the game, they're looking phenomenal. Golden Horn Tower is on the way. Extra system levels coming in. Kairos Siphon is continuing to get maximum value, maximum pain. I wouldn't blame SAS if he just GG'd the moment the tech came out. He's not in a position that he's getting out of his base at this stage. Instead, he's going to get dove. Horseman coming in. Yeah, because remember, Kairos Siphons have less health than a ram, so they die quicker to arrow fire. Another building down for SAS, though. Veteran Seaver Horseman on the way. Cataphracts, dude. The amount of Cataphracts we're now seeing is kind of crazy. I don't think there was anything that drastically changed about Cataphracts. I think people just took a second look at them, was the reality check. They're pretty damn good for what they are. It's also the positional play. When players use these to charge through and get on the other side of, say, mass longbows, you block a easy retreat. They got buffed. It wasn't substantial, though, right? What was the change? I'm trying to remember. Cost is the same. Was it 320 or 300 to 360 health? Oh, sorry, it's a speed change, right? Wait, was that this patch or the... I thought it was the previous patch, because they used to be 1.52 or 1.56, right? And they put them up to 1.60. Yeah, it was a pretty decent buff. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So it wasn't... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it wasn't pop, I'm pretty sure of that. It was before. But even then, like, people kind of still sleeping on them. But we're seeing more and more of it now. It's the positional play, right? In this retreat, for example, if he just tramples through, these lombos scramble around them. So they spend longer in range getting meleeed. That's the value. Melee struggle against range because you're able to kite away from them so they don't keep attacking. If the Cataphract's standing here and you're running away from it, you're running around it. So he's just standing still, clubbing you with a sword. That's what makes him so good. He isn't using trample right now because the spear's here. Otherwise, it would have already been committed. But Myriad now, with the veteran longbows, this is done. SAS is trying to save up for a tech up. It would have to be White Tower in a game where he only has 1 TC. And I don't think he'd be able to build that White Tower anyway. Not with Cataphract spamming. Yes, Cataphracts again used... So we've been watching team tournament games. They are there everywhere. This might be the first or second game we've seen a Cataphracts in tournament for 1v1 though. Expect the numbers to grow. Even against English Spears, he doesn't care. Trample could be used. He's going to use it now. The cycle charge through. Does get pinched in the center, but it doesn't matter. Numbers are too high. That's going to be it. A farewell to Sassy. Commiserations, and thank you for hopping in for the first midweek muster. He'll have to grind on the ladder now to qualify for the second. Myriad, however, is through to the round of 16. Damn. Like and subscribe, guys. Make sure you comment on these videos. Make sure you share around. I don't think a lot of people know that we have got 30 weeks of tournament action happening around the clock, and it can all be seen on the Killer Pigeon channel. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next chapter.